Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So it's light outside, and yeah, I've got breakfast on the way. But anyway, I thought I'd make a video about this because it's just ridiculous. So last night we were on stream, basically shooting the shit as per normal, and I had a look in our Discord, and it came up, and I think Hog did a video on this, and I didn't think much about it, and but yeah, I noticed that Blizzard had released a new video, in particular for Diablo, called Dark Delicacies, and I'll put that up here. Now, what this video actually is exactly what it sounds like, a cooking video, right? So, we'll pull it up on screen, have it in the background a little bit. So, one thing I'd make a comment on is if you're going to make a cooking video, make a good cooking video. And number two, this is just evidencing how far out of touch the Diablo devs and Blizzard actually is. They're actually marketing their new cookbook for Diablo. Now, you would think off the back of everything that's happened in the past week, number one, the negative controversy that's come from the notorious Rod Ferguson tweet, through to the fact that their competitor has maybe released one of the most damaging and prolifically excellent products that will knock them off the totem pole of ARPGs forever, you would think that you would have a much more eloquent response, but instead, Blizzard didn't, and they decided to release a cooking video. And by the way, I did actually check the price of this book as well on Amazon, and it costs like $46, and that's reduced from $60. It's actually almost like 2 times more expensive than a PoE early access key if it was at full price, which is wild. So, and this actually got pulled out in the comments. It's cheaper to get a Path of Exile early access key than it is to buy this cookbook. Talking about the comments on this video, let's just have a look at some of the just sheer roasting that the Diablo dev team and Blizzard's getting over, what is basically some really lewd comments that came from Rod in his tweet earlier in the week, and also the fact that they're just totally out of touch. So the first one I had here was, for the price of the cookbook, get yourself Path of Exile 2 early access instead. Like we just had a look, that's 100% factually correct. The next one is, this dish has more ingredients than Diablo 4's content. Can't argue with that. They definitely did a lot more cooking in this video than what they did when they made the game. The next one is, did somebody hijack the channel again, or is management just completely cuckoo at Blizzard? Can't argue with that. Whoever employed the marketing team to make this video just is totally disassociated with reality at this stage. This is so out of season and so not appropriate from a competitive stance. And they sort of just ask for these negative comments at the end of the day after everything. They're just not even paying attention to what the community's saying to them. So we've got the marketing team clearly don't know how the internet works, adding more meme fuel to the fire. You basically admitted that cooking is more entertaining than playing D4. Can't argue with that. Definitely I could say that peeling potatoes in the past has been more interesting than trying to play a druid build. Lol, Diablo cookbook costs more than the PoE early access. Cool video for Thanksgiving event, but I'll share my table with Path of Exile 2. Again, like, it's one thing to make, like, Thanksgiving videos. It's another thing to, like, make stuff that just makes no sense. Why didn't they do something with in-game content or something of that nature, of a bit more of a grandiose position? Like, maybe a surprise expansion announcement would have been really good. Or a paladin class. I think D4 is already cooked. You didn't need to make a video to prove it. And finally, D4 content I can finally digest. These are just savage roasts. And there's like an entire comment section of this in this video. I do feel bad for the guys who made the video, and I do see where the heart's there. They want to do something really cool, but they just didn't deliver on this one. So in this case, what should Blizzard have done instead of release a cooking video to come back off of the negative controversy? Well, number one, they're never going to get past it, right? So this whole situation is never going to improve for Diablo at this stage as a game, and it's never going to improve for Blizzard as a company that provides Diablo, because what's essentially happened is they have totally alienated their player base. And this wasn't a catalyst from this one tweet, I guess. This was just a spark that's sort of started the fire and the flame. And And the obvious thing is the Path of Exile announcement has really been the thing that's really sort of gut punch, because it's the evidence of what a company that cares can do versus a company that just looks to monetize everything. Case point, releasing a cookbook for greater than the cost of the Path of Exile 2 early access, again, is just in poor form. The problem that I see with this situation is that Blizzard is operating on this notion that they are totally untouchable and that nobody can push them off the top. And they might be right about that for a period of time. But we've already seen things like, Arcane and, Riot Games, for example, or just League of Legends in general. They basically started as an indie studio and then worked their way up from the very bottom. And now I'd argue that they're a significantly more powerful game creator than what any of the major game creating companies like EA or Blizzard or any of them actually are these days. Not to mention the games that these guys are putting out from the so-called AAA level are not even AAA. So we look at like Path of Exile 2. That is a AAA game. Hands down, AAA all the way. Quality throughout and through. But we look at things that have come out in recent years, in particular like the Diablo expansion, Vessel of Hatred. That was a horrible expansion. Like, however you want to look at it, the storyline is sort of scuffed. As someone who played D2 back all the way, when D2 was a thing, for me, I'm just like, it doesn't feel good. It feels disingenuous. It's not creative anymore. It's just basically ringing up skeletons of the past to try and make more money at the end of the day out of the unsuspecting consumer base who have, for all the right reasons, loved this IP. So, do I think there is a redemption arc for Blizzard at this stage? Not really. I don't think until they actually put somebody in charge that sits there and goes, guys, we need to start making games for the gamers and be gamers ourselves. Like, the big difference between, you watch the Legendary Drops article, I'll put a video or link to a couple of his videos up, the Legendary Drops interview with Jonathan Rogers. The total parallel difference in the way that GGG makes games is they are gamers making games for gamers. And that's the way that video games should be made. They shouldn't be highly publicized, marketed, essentially like lemons at the end of the day. There's just a profit view from Blizzard. And that's what the community has picked up on now. And we're just sick of it. It's just totally crazy. But in relation to the context of this video, definitely check out their video. Have a look at the comments. Like, if you've had a bad day and you just wanted to look at some comments that'll cheer you up, it's amazing how the PoE communities just turned around and went, you know what? Screw you guys. We're gonna be loud and proud about the fact that this game is going to be fantastic. And from everything that we've seen so far, all the content coming around and everything else, Path of Exile is stacking up to be the greatest game in ARPG history at this stage. And you know what? I don't feel bad about making a hack piece about Blizzard. I spent money on their $140 edition when I first bought it, and I didn't even play the end game. I played to like level 70 and then I gave up because it was too much of a grind to even get into it. Then I find out they adjust the character leveling because they deliberately knew, allegedly, I suspect they deliberately knew what they were doing, which was extending the XP sort of grind out for a period of time to buy themselves time. Again, not a fantastic way to start. And then the expansion, when I bought that, I thought better of it, and I realized pretty quickly on that it just, like at that point, you're just playing it to tick the box to say that you played it. And I ended up going back to Path of Exile 1 and just going, boy, this makes me appreciate Path of Exile so much more. Anyway, I thought I'd do a video on this, mainly because it was just amusing on stream. I can't believe that they made a cooking video and thought that that was a good idea. But you know what? Maybe this is just a point for Blizzard to go back and self-reflect. Maybe they just need this down period where they're getting all the L's thrown at them to learn. And you never know. They could turn it around. I'm not confident that they will. Unfortunately, money has totally damaged that company, and it's not Blizzard North as it used to be. It is just something else, and I think we all need to just come to terms with that. I don't think that Blizzard will ever be able to be what it used to be. Anyway, if you like this video, don't forget to like and sub to the channel. Don't forget to follow the Twitch. Patreon's down below if you want to do that. And also the X as well. And I will see you guys later. I got a bunch more videos coming out. That's all I'm going to post up about Diablo 4. I know, like, There's tons of videos getting around about Diablo 4 drama and rah rah rah. I just thought this was more amusing. I don't really like doing hack pieces and things like that to have a go at things. But I felt like this was merited because it just, what the hell. Anyway, I'll see you guys later and have a good one.